Breaking the chains of procrastination. Conquer the silent killer of dreams. You know that moment when you need to start, but something invisible holds you back? That subtle, persistent resistance, like a whisper in the back of your mind, pulling you away from what truly matters. That's procrastination, the silent assassin of potential, the cunning thief of dreams, and it has destroyed more aspirations than failure ever could. But what if I told you that you could silence it for good? Not just manage it, but completely break its hold over your life? What if you could train your mind to act without hesitation, to move even when the path ahead is unclear, even when fear and doubt cling to you like shadows? This isn't a fantasy, it's a choice. Procrastination doesn't mean you're lazy. It's a signal, a symptom, a warning light on the dashboard of your mind. It indicates that something inside you is out of alignment, that there is a disconnect between your intentions and your actions. You don't delay because you don't care. You delay because your emotions get in the way. You hesitate because your mind craves comfort, even when your soul demands growth. Understand this. The trick is not to wait for the right mood or the perfect motivation. The trick is to act despite the resistance. To teach your thoughts to follow your goals, not your passing feelings. Because the truth is, your emotions were never designed to lead, they were designed to respond. And if you let them command your actions, you will drift through life, blown by the winds of circumstance, never truly in control. The hidden costs of delay, the silent price you pay. Procrastination is not just an innocent pause. It is a choice, a quiet decision to trade your future for a fleeting comfort. Every task you defer, every opportunity you let slip, every dream you delay becomes a brick in the wall of regret. You may not feel the weight today, but one day that wall will loom high before you, blocking the path to the life you once imagined. Every time you say, "I'll do it tomorrow," you are teaching your mind to doubt your own word. You become someone you cannot trust, and if you cannot trust yourself, who can? This erosion of self-respect is the greatest cost of procrastination, for it robs you not just of time, but of the faith you have in your own potential. Think about it. The moments you avoid, the decisions you defer, the risks you dodge, these are not just missed chances, they are silent sacrifices. They strip away at your identity, erode your confidence, and chip away at the person you could become. So today, draw a line in the sand. Declare that delay is no longer an option. Say it out loud with conviction. My future is too essential to be sacrificed for my fleeting moods. The moment you make this decision, you declare a war on procrastination. You become a force that cannot be swayed by excuses, that cannot be held back by fear. Digging to the roots. Fear, not time, is the real enemy. Understand this. Procrastination is not a time problem. It is a mind problem. It is a creature of fear, not of laziness. It hides behind the mask of lethargy, but beneath that disguise is anxiety, fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear that your effort may not be enough. You avoid the task that challenges you not because you are weak, but because your mind craves safety. It clings to the familiar, the comfortable, the known. It whispers that stepping into the unknown, into the uncertain, is a threat to your well-being. But here's the truth. Progress and comfort cannot coexist. Growth demands discomfort, risk, exposure. If you want to kill procrastination at its source, you must face these fears head-on. You must be willing to be seen, to attempt, to fail, and to try again. Ask yourself, what am I really afraid of? Being judged? Falling short? Discovering that my limits are closer than I thought? The answers to these questions lie in your identity, in the image you hold of yourself. And the only way to expand that image is through action, through doing, through risking, building a vision so compelling. It demands action. A person without a vision will always be distracted by small things. If your future is unclear, your present will feel meaningless, and when meaning dies, action withers alongside it. You must craft a vision so powerful, so emotionally charged, that it becomes impossible to ignore. Not just a goal, but a burning image of who you will become, a version of yourself that demands respect, that commands action. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture the life you truly want, not the life you settle for, but the life that sets your heart on fire. See yourself walking with purpose, your time spent like gold, your mornings full of intention, your evenings free of regret. This vision must be so vivid, so real in your mind that it pulls you forward even on the hardest days. Your vision must be your compass, your North Star. It must stalk you in your solitude, echo in your thoughts, shout louder than your doubts. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Carry it in your heart like a sacred promise. The power of routine, building a system that outlives doubt. Champions are not born from bursts of inspiration. They are forged in the fires of routine, in the dull, daily grind of discipline. They do not rise each morning and wonder if they feel like pursuing their dreams. They simply act. Your system need not be complex. It could be as simple as a 2-hour window of focused work before the world wakes, or a commitment to complete one meaningful task before breakfast. The specifics matter less than the consistency. Understand this. Discipline is not a matter of feeling, it is a matter of decision. When you decide the same thing every single day, your mind learns to obey. It learns that no matter how tired you are, no matter how uninspired, you will act. This is how empires are built. Not in flashes of brilliance, but in steady, unshakable patterns of motion. Transforming time from passive to purposeful. Most people see time as if it were sand slipping through their fingers, something that inevitably drifts away, leaving them only with regret and a longing for more. They watch the minutes slip by, powerless, convinced that time is a relentless, uncontrollable force. But time is not sand. Time is not a passive entity that merely slips away. Time is clay. It can be shaped, molded, and transformed into something purposeful and beautiful. The challenge is that too many people fail to understand this fundamental truth. They wake up each day with the same 24 hours as everyone else, yet they let it trickle away, unclaimed and unformed. The lazy inherit a full day, and they spend it with nothing to show. Their hours dissolve into oblivion, leaving no trace of growth, no evidence of progress. On the other hand, the disciplined inherit those same hours, but they build. They construct something of value. They don't just survive the day. They multiply its worth by investing their energy, focus, and determination. They understand the profound concept of stewardship. To whom much is given, much is required. Time is a gift, and it demands something in return. From the present to the future. Command your day. If you genuinely wish to change your life, don't begin by overhauling your entire year. Start smaller. Transform your day. Don't attempt to move the mountain all at once. Instead, focus on the hour. Command just 1 hour of your day with purpose and direction. Then do the same the next day, and the next. This consistent act of commanding small portions of your time will gradually build an empire of progress. A life transformed is not created by one sweeping gesture, but by small, consistent choices, day after day, hour after hour. When you learn to master a single hour, you are not just altering your schedule. You are reshaping your destiny. Your habits define you more than your dreams do. Dreams are important, but habits are what make them real. Stop drifting aimlessly, hoping that someday the stars will align. Start directing your steps deliberately. Stop waiting for circumstances to change on their own. Start scheduling your success, planning your progress, and owning your day. Stop surrendering your time to distractions and start commanding it like the invaluable asset it is. Time is not your adversary. It's the most loyal companion you'll ever have if you learn to lead it. The real question isn't, do I have time? The real question is, will I take it? When you make that decision to seize your time, the clock no longer becomes a tyrant. It becomes your tool, a powerful ally in the pursuit of your goals. The power of deadlines. turning pressure into purpose. Deadlines are often viewed as threats, as shadows looming over your peace of mind. Most people dread them, seeing them as chains that bind them to stress and urgency. But the wise understand something crucial. Deadlines are not enemies. They are allies. They are not barriers, but bridges connecting your present self to your future achievements. A deadline is not just a ticking clock. It's a promise to yourself, a line drawn in time that says, by this point, I will have moved forward. Without deadlines, motivation wanes. Without that sense of urgency, the mind tends to drift into a hazy fog of maybe later and someday. But someday is an illusion. Later is a lie. The dreams you hold dear deserve more than that. They deserve a specific, defined commitment. When you embrace deadlines, you activate a unique kind of pressure, the pressure that pushes you to act, to decide, to focus. This pressure is not harmful. It is transformational. It takes vague intentions and converts them into concrete actions. When coal is subjected to pressure, it becomes a diamond. Similarly, your ideas only turn into reality when pressure compels you to move. Setting and honoring your deadlines. To make a deadline effective, it needs to matter. Tie it to a consequence. Create a reason for it to feel urgent. If failure is an option, and that option has no cost, then there's no fire to push you forward. Assign value to your deadline. Share it with someone you respect, a friend, a mentor, a colleague, and make it known. Accountability intensifies commitment. Want to write a book? Set a deadline for when it will be finished. Want to launch a business? Pick a launch date. Want to change your health? Establish a timeline and commit. Vague intentions lead to vague results. Specific deadlines lead to specific achievements. The mind seeks comfort. It fears pressure because pressure means risk, effort, and potential failure. But pressure, when harnessed correctly, becomes your strongest motivator. It clarifies your thoughts, sharpens your focus, and diminishes distractions. It is the ticking clock that keeps you moving forward, even when comfort tempts you to pause. Living with intention, making time your ally. Time is often seen as an opponent, something that works against you, always slipping away before you can grasp it. But what if time became your most reliable ally? What if, instead of dreading its passage, you leveraged it to build the life you envision? To do this, you must fundamentally shift your mindset from being a passive observer to an active commander. You must take control not just of your days, but of the minutes that make up those days. The disciplined person does not wait for time to align with their desires. They make time work for them. This doesn't mean forcing yourself to grind endlessly or sacrificing your well-being for productivity. It means approaching each moment with intention. It means making decisions based on purpose rather than habit. It means asking yourself regularly, am I living this hour the way I want to live my life? Rise above procrastination. Make every choice count. Procrastination isn't merely a delay in action. It's a pattern of self-sabotage. It's a way of protecting yourself from discomfort by choosing inaction over progress. Yet, every time you yield to procrastination, you cast a vote for the person who avoids, who hesitates, who chooses comfort over greatness. But what if you broke that cycle today? What if, instead of delaying, you decided to act even when it feels inconvenient, even when fear whispers that you're not ready? Start with one decision. One action. One commitment to move forward, no matter how small. When you start building your life in small, deliberate steps, procrastination loses its grip. You no longer wait for inspiration. You generate it through action. You no longer fear failure. You see it as a part of the growth process. Your future is not a distant, abstract concept. It's shaped by what you do right now in this very moment. Choose to act. Choose to shape your time. Choose to command your destiny. Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to stay updated with more motivational content. Like, share, and comment to support our work and spread the message. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Napoleon Hill Diaries.